Here we are. Here we are. We're here. It's been a nightmare.
Do you know what you look like? You look like someone who's just said, Rachel, you don't want to talk.
I've got my dry mouth singing because it's been
You
bad.
look like you've just been to the dentist now.
That's what it is. It helps me. Otherwise, it's terrible. Anyway, guys, I'm Mickey.
I'm Charlotte. Hey!
We're partners.
We are partners in chaos. Oh, well, why are we like this? Why are you there and why am I here?
Basically, our health and well-being is not right. Okay, right now, I can't stop seeing that thing. I'm going to have to take it out.
We are basically falling apart, but we are still trying to do this at the same time.
We don't want to disappoint you. Yeah,
No.
I've woken up with an unusable neck, and Charlotte's health. Yeah, that's me. Like I've been like a robot. Charlotte's health is still bad, so we're doing what we can.
Yes, indeed we are.
We're working with what we got, and that's what it is. So, this episode is about SEN children, raising SEN children, the struggles, the process,
The knowing when do you find out, or when you realise, should I say?
Yeah, how we realised, and we're going to start there because our stories, we have both got autistic, like diagnosed autistic children, both the exact same age. We found out in completely different ways because of how vastly different it is.
So different they are, aren't they?
Completely different, but yet now we're seeing those tendencies of how similar they can be in certain ways,
absolutely. I feel like as well with your case, with Lyra's situation, I feel like it was heartbreaking. That's the only way when I think about that. It was just heartbreaking how quickly the difference and the struggle that she had. And so to tell everyone, when did it start, Mick?
So I noticed the change in Lyra from that transition from primary school to secondary school, and it was vast, and it was like I lost my daughter overnight. She went,
it was I was literally going to say it was like it was overnight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really hard, and she's always been really quirky and she's always been different, but a lot of her quirks were so similar to mine that I just put it down to that: touch, texture, food, the way she ate her food, and all very similar to me, and I never thought anything more of it. And when she got to halfway through year 7, she started to say that she was having like dizziness. And I noticed that she had completely changed. The fun, like loving girl that she was just disappeared overnight, and she shut down mentally, and she was starting to have almost like panic attacks.
I can remember walking to school with you once and she just couldn't breathe.
No.
She was just struggling to breathe, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she'd feel sick all the time, and she'd feel, like the dizziness was such a big part of it, and headaches, and just she seemed low. And I took her to the doctors, and we had blood tests done, and because she was standing up and feeling lightheaded, and then she was talking about things that were happening in school, how she was almost having an out-of-body experience. She was seeing herself from above herself.
I remember this conversation.
Yeah, and it was terrifying, and we went back, and then she'd always done these things, but when I spoke to her, I found out how much she was doing that I had no clue about. But she'd always done these things that I'd noticed she'd make a throat clearing sound, and and I said to her one day, is there something in your throat, like something stuck in your throat? She said no, but it turned out to be like a tick.
Yeah.
And she just kept doing it. And then I was with a friend down at the beach, and she does this thing with her eyes as well, where like she looks up like that, and she was making the vocal tick. And my friend said to me, does she do that all the time? I said, yeah. She said, you know, that's a sign of autism. And then I looked into it, and then I realised, fuck, she's autistic. And
it was so wild, wasn't it?
Yeah, the realisation. And I sat her down and I did my research, and I presented it to her and said, I think this is why you are the way that you are. And one of the things was OCD. And that's when I realised she had like severe OCD. And
she then told you what she was doing, didn't she?
And I had no
And I think I can remember rightly that situation for her was almost like a weight had lifted. Because she was doing these things but not telling you as well, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So she was doing these things and then it was like, now I know why I do these things. Because she had rituals, didn't she, and routines.
So many. Yeah, I mean, we've always had to tell her things like what time we're leaving, how long we're going to be out. We could never spring anything on her. The rituals, she'd like decide to do sit-ups or something every night, and then she'd do this for 10 minutes, then she'd have to do this for 10 minutes, and before you know it, it's 11 o'clock at night and she's got rituals left. But because of this OCD and this stress that she was putting on herself, it was taking over her life and it was making her miserable. But we got to year 8 and she went back to school, and she'd been fine all of the summer, and she went back to school and it started again. And I remember phoning up the school and going, I think Lyra's autistic. And they said, we do too.
Yeah.
Now, it's frustrating because I wish that they'd have told me that, but I know that they can't.
Apparently, yeah, we've heard that they can't actually come to a parent and say that, can they?
Yeah.
Why though? I don't understand that, because
neither do I.
Just to put in there, for me, your children are effectively spending more time at school with their teachers than they are at home.
Yeah.
During a school term, if you think about it. So why?
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean, it may be a thing now. We might have teachers that comment and say, actually, you can. If you can, why don't they?
I don't know.
Because there's certain situations I know with Vay as well that you've had, the teachers have already put interventions and stuff in place, but you've not been told about it.
No. And I suppose with Vega, because I actually put in Lyra's and Vega's applications for the NHS at the same time. And he went to school with them knowing that he was awaiting an ADHD assessment. So they have put a lot of things in place.
Different, yeah.
But for Lyra, yeah, they knew. They sort of already knew. And then I felt awful because I was like, she's 12 years old. How did I not know this? The guilt that I felt terrible about it.
But what are the statistics for girls, which we now know?
The first thing they said was, statistically, a girl won't be diagnosed with autism until they turn 14. Because they mask so much better.
Show the signs, basically. And they actually said to you, I can remember them saying to you, is that it's really good that she's shown the signs earlier because it can be treated and she can have the support earlier rather than waiting until she's 14. So, yeah, in a roundabout way, it was good that those things sort of happened earlier.
Yeah. But yours with Lissy is totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was actually through her being bullied, wasn't it? That we sort of were a bit like, why is this happening? What's going on here? So Lissy went to one school and she was very, very badly bullied. And it was like she was befriended and then as if not. And it was like this cycle of a situation, wasn't it? And the long and short, I'm not going to get right into that, but the school basically kept saying to her, you need to build resilience. You need to build resilience. And she was getting very upset. Lissy is someone that is a very, very emotional person. Yes. And you know when she's upset about something. And she was getting so upset. And I can remember you came with me to the school, remember?
Yeah.
And the teacher, do you remember when she read out what that other teacher said about her? So she read out, which actually should never have been told to me and never have been said. But she read out, to Lissy as well. Lissy was there as well. I can't remember word for word, but basically Lissy is a drama queen and she needs to build resilience. And it got to the point where I was like, do you know what? Enough is enough. Yeah. Like, you are not dealing with the problem. You are making it Lissy being the problem. So I'm going to move her. And I basically said, like, Lissy is the most happiest go lucky girl. She just puts a smile on your face when you see her. She's just that girl, isn't she? And she wouldn't hurt anyone unknowingly. No. If she's hurt someone, she would be upset about it. And I was losing her, wasn't I? I was completely losing her and her personality. So I moved her, and it wasn't until I moved her, she started, and I always noticed little things, like she used to do this.
Yeah.
I used to be like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your hands like that for? And she's like, I'm happy. And I was like, okay, cool girl, you do you sort of situation. And then it was when she went to the new school that I was like, oh, these behaviours are like happening. And I phoned the school and I was like, why is she doing this now? Why is she doing this here? And they went, and it actually took them for them to say this for me to be like, oh my God. They went, she feels safe here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, she is autistic. No,
Yeah.
actually, no.
It wasn't.
She's got ADHD, is what we
100%.
thought. It wasn't autistic. ADHD was, I was like, she's got ADHD, 100%. She's so like me. And the school were brilliant, and they completely took her under her wing. And it was more like, do you know what? What can we do to help you? What needs can we put in place to help you? And she has thrived.
Yes, she really has.
Absolutely thrived at that school. Yes, she still has problems with friendship groups and stuff, but because we now understand her autism, we manage it. I can manage her better in a sense of knowledge and her understanding that this person's actually not being very nice to you. They might say the next day that they really like you again, but sometimes that isn't how it works. And if someone doesn't treat you right, because Lissy was very much, oh, but they've said sorry to me. They could have punched her in the face and they said sorry to me. And she'd be like, yeah, cool girl, let's be besties again. And that's not how it works. And it's really hard to try and make her understand that being treated badly and just an apology without actual change in someone's behaviour is not right.
No.
But yeah, so we ended up going for a diagnosis, and I put in and I was, even when I was answering the questions, it was like multiple choice. And I was like, all the ADHD ones, she's like answered. And then when they went into the assessment and the things that they were saying, I couldn't believe. I was like, oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So it was like things that they picked up was like when she was talking to them about, I think it might have been me being ill, one of them. And I think one of them was about someone being nasty to her. She was smiling.
Yeah.
And they said, when you're talking about something sad, you're sad.
Yes.
Like, for example, when we've spoke about something, you're like, oh, sure. Or I'm like, oh, mix. Like your emotions match that conversation, whereas hers don't. No. And obviously the stimming of her hands and foods that she eats, she will eat one food and eat that all for a month, and then all of a sudden she doesn't like it and it'll be something else, and then she'll eat that all the way through.
I think because as well, I mean, we'll talk about the diagnosis process in a sec, but because when I looked at her, I always thought she's me. She doesn't stop moving. She's constantly dancing. She's chaotic and she's yeah. And then when you had the diagnosis and you told me the information, I was like, shit, I see it.
Yeah.
And now
because it was like, what?
Yeah.
But the doctor did say that she is definitely ADHD, but he did say that she didn't present. So with ADHD, he explained that you have to present. You can't. There can't be sometimes that you don't act like that.
Right.
So so the evidence from the school wasn't ADHD evidence.
With ADHD.
Yeah. So what he said was, he could see that she was absolutely ADHD and the things that was being spoken about, but there just wasn't enough evidence to give a formal diagnosis.
Right.
So yeah. So that's why we could see, and that's what we thought was the case. But yeah, she's autistic. It's crazy.
It really did blow my mind. Right, diagnosis. Because both of our stories are quite different with this. So as I did say earlier, I found out about me having ADHD before I realised that Lyra was autistic. And in me finding out, it then made me look at Vega, and Vega shows classic signs of ADHD. Never slept properly, very jumps from thing to thing, very defiant, big feelings. Injustice is like a huge deal to him.
Yeah.
Me personified.
That's me. I'm an injustice person as well.
Yeah, exactly. But I put them both through the normal NHS route.
Yes,
and I went to the doctors, and it was helpful because I had already seen him twice, and we'd had the discussion because her anxiety is like, what's the right word to describe it? Crippling.
And consuming, consuming, isn't it?
Completely crippling.
But anyone that's had anxiety will understand that as well.
Yeah. And I haven't, so it's really hard. And so I went down the NHS route and nothing happened. And I waited.
Still waiting.
And because by this point, I've gone through the right to choose for me, been diagnosed with ADHD, I've not even had a letter from the NHS to acknowledge either of the kids. So I'm on the phone. What's happening?
It's wild. Yeah.
And it kept growing every time. Like when I first applied, it was 3 years. When I called back later, it was 4 years. I thought, how have we gone from 3 to 4? They're already on the list. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's absolutely wild, and I think it's so wrong.
Yeah,
because there's so many children that need that diagnosis to get the help and support they need through school, because it is so needed. They so need to be understood. Like, Lissy was really lucky to be at a school that was happy to treat her as if she was autistic or ADHD for those needs before she had the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Because they knew she was going through that. But that's what I mean. The wait list is so long. There is some schools that won't. There is some schools that don't think the way that us as parents think. Like, I did have that situation with Leighton.
Yeah,
where
you did.
I thought one way and I put in the thing, but because the school was like, no, nothing at school. I didn't get
couldn't get any progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But schooling is something we're going to have a chat about in a minute.
Yes, 100%. We are, absolutely. So carry on with your process with it then.
Yeah. So I remember phoning and speaking to CCOM, which is who they both ended up being diagnosed with.
Yeah.
And asking, because online it all had to be filled in by the doctors. And my strongest point was, my doctor doesn't know her. He can't fill out this form. It doesn't make any sense that this falls on the doctor's shoulders. And then in between that time, you and my friend Lucy both put your children through right to choose by the same place, and you both got the process
very quickly.
Really, just fly. And I remember thinking, they told me I couldn't do that, but yet here you are. And then I remember, and I was so conflicted, and you will remember this perfectly. You got your appointment through for Lissy, and I hadn't even had a letter through the door for Lyra. And I remember feeling heartbroken.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Because she was asking me all the time, when will I be diagnosed? When will I be diagnosed?
100%. Because she needed it.
Yeah.
For her as well.
She did. She needed it for her. And I almost felt like at the time it might help her if she knew. And while I will say on one hand it has, I also don't think it has either. But what I had done before then is apply for DLA for her. And I got it. But I got it just after Lissy had got her appointment through.
And got her diagnosis, didn't she?
And got her diagnosis. And so I took the back payment for DLA and I paid for her to go privately. And within, I think, 4 weeks, she had her diagnosis.
So quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
So quickly.
So quickly. And I know that, I remember that Panorama fucking, what do you call it, that they did? Documentary. Did you ever see it or hear about it? I don't know if I saw it. They did this documentary about people getting diagnosed privately with ADHD. It was mostly ADHD.
I vaguely remember now and saying that it doesn't count or something.
Yeah, so there's what it was about. It was a normal neurotypical person would learn and read up about all of the traits and symptoms of ADHD, pay for a private appointment, go, and when all the questions were asked, answer as you had ADHD, then be diagnosed with ADHD, and then be like, it's a joke. It's a sham.
You know what? I just think it's ridiculous. Like, I can remember with Lissy's assessment, they said to me, like, they noted that she rocked like this the whole way through her assessment. Like, when I said to her about it, she was like, didn't even realise. She was like this as well. They were like, she was so fidgety and almost like in an agitated state, but with a smile on her face. Like, things like that make me mad. Like, it makes me mad because actually anyone can learn the traits and go and say that. But why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
And that's what they did. And I think after that, there was like a stigma around private diagnosis, but because it was autism and I did only pay for an autistic diagnosis, Lyra truly believes that she has a lot of ADHD tendencies. I do too. I think she shows a lot of those. And I know the lines are crossed.
Yeah, it's very much, everyone says it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. What happened was, because I thought, and she feels like she also has ADHD, when we was in that appointment, and that appointment broke my heart, it was really hard. When we was at the end, I said, do you think she shows any traits of ADHD? And the woman said, I can't necessarily say with an absolute that she doesn't, but I don't think she's got ADHD. And at the time, Lyra was bouncing her leg aggressively, and she said, I know that, you know, she's probably feeling very anxious now. And Lyra just looked up and went, no. And it was, but yeah, she said no. And Lyra, all she took away from that was that she didn't have ADHD.
The negative.
But she'd got the diagnosis that she wanted.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough. And for her, that consumed her. That completely took her over. But I don't know about you. This is what I found really hard. Because obviously they take them into a different room, don't they?
Yes.
So me and Keith was in one room. Yours was separate because it was on
mine was different. Yeah, different, slightly different process.
Yeah, so going private, it all happened at the same day.
Yeah.
So me and Keith was in with one doctor in one room, and she was in with someone else in another room, and they was going through these role play things or whatever it is that they do. So we're going through her childhood, and actually my friend Karen, when she was a baby, she was 1, I told her that she was doing something with blocks, organising the colours. And Karen said to me, you do know that's a sign of autism, don't you? I'm not saying she has. And at that time, because I was ignorant to autism, I remember thinking, oh my God, no, she hasn't. Fuck me, how wrong I was. And now her historically, she's continuously showed signs of autism. But I just didn't know enough about it.
As a mum, and I understand that feeling because I feel the same about things, so many things about Lissy. I do feel a sense of guilt. Do you feel a sense of guilt that you didn't? Yeah, but I know it's not our fault and it's not something that we would have overlooked on purpose. But there's got to be other people that feel the same. Like, there is that sense of, fucking hell, if we'd known sooner. Like, they would have had help quicker, or do you know what I mean? Or maybe Lissy would have been in the situation she was, being so severely bullied. And it does, doesn't it? It makes you have that, and it's not our fault. And they do mask.
She did. Well, I mean, she did obviously in primary school. The reality was, had I have known before she went to secondary school, she wouldn't have gone to where she's gone. She would have gone to a specialist school.
And it has still to this day is a real struggle for her, isn't it? But I know you've had to have a little bit of a battle, but they have really listened. Yeah. They're just so good with her, aren't they? And understanding.
They're really good. As best as they can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is difficult, and we will talk about that because we've both had vast school experiences. But I don't know if you had this. When I read back her form, you know, at the end you get like a full document that talks about them and everything. And the doctor that she was in with when we wasn't together, he had wrote his sort of observations of his time. And what he had said is, she avoids eye contact, which I know that she does. And then when she does, it's very intense. And she doesn't trust strangers. She takes a really long time to get to know people. And But what he said that I didn't even realise it until it was written. You can't have a two-way conversation with her.
No.
So there's no follow-up question.
No, it's very, it's statements and it's actions and it's doing, isn't it? It's very, I completely, Yeah. It's how's your day? It was good. There's no like you and me will be like, how you doing? You'll go, yeah, I'm good. How are you? It's not a two-way street.
No.
It's a matter of fact, isn't it?
She will sometimes. I'll get the odd, how was your day, Mum?
Yeah, but I think as well that's with the people she trusts. And yeah, possibly. What was that?
My AirPod just yeeted out.
I think she trusts you. Like you're her life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think, but with anyone that she doesn't, or I mean, she might do with me, and again, really close people to her. But if someone she didn't really know was say, "How are you?" she'd go,
"Oh, it'd be that,"
or thumbs up, or and it's and actually, I wanted to. We can do it. Here's a really good difference because you just touched on how Lyra doesn't trust, and it takes a long time for her to build trust or to really talk to someone in a sense as well. How different Lissy is.
Completely.
So Lissy is sort of person that'd be like, you can trust me, and she's like, okay. Like it's like that's the difference. It's night and day between, and they've got both the same diagnosis, but they are Lyra is so careful with who she allows into her world, into her, which is what you should be.
Yeah.
That's the vulnerability in Lissy.
Yes.
Where she is so trusting. And she'll be like, no. And I've always had, like, through the years, like, Mum, can I go out with, for argument's sake, Charlie? Who's Charlie? Oh, my best friend that I met yesterday. Yeah. And I'm like, what's her at?
What?
From Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I see him at the garden centre and they're my best friends. Like, I'm not mugging Lissy off, but I'm exaggerating it just for the point
that's how she's always been.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, I really now know it. Obviously, I was careful before, but it's a real, hold on a minute. Where are they? Do you really know them? Blah, blah, blah. It's that whole, because she is just so open to trusting people.
She is open. And this is one thing, like I've always said to you since, like, diagnosing, like, since she was diagnosed, since we've looked into everything and learning and looking at her in that way, and because she's a fantastic masker, fantastic.
Yeah.
Which is why you would look at her and never think in a million years that she
absolutely
was autistic, which has its own pile of problems. But she is so vulnerable. She's vulnerable in a way that Lyra wouldn't even allow.
Absolutely.
Lyra is vulnerable in a way of, if she was in trouble, I don't know how she'd deal with it in terms of speaking to someone if she had to.
Yeah.
She'd struggle. Lissy is vulnerable in a way is that she will believe whatever you've said to her.
Yeah.
And trust it. And why would this person lie to me? That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
They don't.
Which is dangerous.
Absolutely, it is dangerous. It's so dangerous. And she's such a forgiving girl as well. And I think maybe that comes from past, with being bullied and the situation she's been in. I think she just wants people to like her.
She does.
As we do, I was very much that child. That's where I see me and her as the same, because I was bullied so much. It was almost like it didn't matter. Doesn't matter what you've done to me. As long as you're my friend, and I can go out with you and we can hang out, it's cool. Like, and actually, in a later life, it sort of presented itself to me until I had a really, really bad heartbreak. And then it was like, on rock bottom, as I built myself up, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tough. I see what's going on. And it wasn't, for me, like being an adult. Wasn't until that I actually really was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not, and actually then in turn that's made me a better mum, because now I'm like, no, you don't do that, you don't do that, and then I'll break it down to them, this is what's going on. And yeah.
Right, let's have the school chat, because we've had a lot of talk about school.
We have.
We're quite passionate about school.
Where do we start?
Do you know, I think you have had a more mixed experience than I have in terms of you've had multiple different schools between two of your children.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how that's been for you. I've only had one school, and my experience with how they've cared for Lyra has been phenomenal. Vega's slightly different, and we can talk about him in a bit. Luna, again, she's still at primary school, so again it's slightly different. But my experience with school for Lyra, in terms of bending over backwards for her, they have gone above and beyond.
Yeah.
I think we spoke briefly earlier about the fact that teachers don't seem to tell you. And we've wondered, but why the nurseries though?
Yeah, exactly that. And we know that's a thing. And I think as well, obviously we've got someone that works in that sector. Yeah. So we know a couple of people actually, don't we, that work in that sector. And why is that? Is that actually a thing, or is it a cop-out? Because we're only going by what we're told.
Exactly.
Because, like you say, nurseries can say, and I know someone told me recently, and then completely another school in a different place has actually said to the parent, we think, and that was a higher education school. Teachers, when they've done their teachers training, haven't been taught anything about neurodivergent children. They're not taught that. It's not something that is taught.
See, I recently had a parents' evening for Vega, and I brought up, because basically Vega's parents' evening was, he's distracted, he rushes through his work, he's off with the fairies, he wants to natter and he wants to chatter and all of this, and he can't get his head down. And I found myself repeatedly saying to people, but not in a way of blaming it, because he's not a perfect fucking student, saying he does just show so many typical signs of ADHD. It really is a struggle. You all say the same thing. And one teacher went, we do cover that in our training. And to be honest, that teacher just gave me the ick. So how in depth it goes into it. But at the same time, and this is something that, again, we've spoken about, it's so hard for them to spread themselves so thin and remember this child's needs is that, this child's needs is that.
100%. And I think I've really found, especially in this last year at secondary school, that I've really had to remind some teachers that Lissy is autistic. Lissy is in the last year at school, she's doing her GCSEs. So they're obviously very much got to get this done, got to revise this, got to do these PPEs, the tests and stuff. And for a neurodivergent child, it can be very, very overwhelming. It's change all the time as well. Yeah. And this one particular subject was basically, subject isn't something that Lissy chose, she was given. So when it came to the choices, Lissy had joined the school and was very new there, and she had chose a subject that she wasn't given. She was given this subject. So for someone with a neurospicy brain like Lissy, she gets on really well with subjects that she really enjoys. And she will absolutely home in on it. But when, in this particular case, this subject isn't something that she has any interest in, she's tried, but this teacher has been so hard on her, to the point she's changed deadlines to she's had a lesson that day and she's got to have the 8 marker homework done that night but Lissy's got dance and she's got and she's the overwhelm is just too much for her. And when I obviously spoke to the teacher about it, she still wasn't, she had an answer for everything. And it's you're not hearing me. And I said, you've got off on the wrong foot. I said, if you encourage Lissy and you approach it in a different way, you're gonna get so much more out of her. you keep piling pressure on, she's like, I'm done, toodaloo, see you later.
Shut down. Yeah.
Not every child learns in the same way.
No.
And that is the hardest part about teaching these days, is that it's not one size fits all.
It's not, and we've said it 100 times. It's not one box
Absolutely.
for everyone. You're trying to make someone fit in a mould that it doesn't fit them.
Absolutely.
And it's painful to watch. And like you said, Lissy has a certain way that she learns, so does Lyra.
Absolutely.
Lyra learns in a way, and she's so intelligent, which I think has been both great, but also her downfall. Because she is so fucking clever, that girl. Like, it blows my mind. But in one way, it's fantastic, and I believe that has a big part to do with why the school has been so good.
Yeah.
Because they know they're going to get good GCSE results.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong, but it's crossed my mind a few times. Do they give her so much because they know at the end of it they're going to get a good return on their investment?
Well, that they did with Layla.
Yeah.
At her school.
Give her the help that she needs and what she wants. And she is on a part-time timetable now, which for year 11 is quite hard to
unheard
come by.
Of, yeah.
Yeah, but again, that was Lyra. I had that meeting. She wrote down how school makes her feel. But on the other hand, when it comes to being rewarded and acknowledged, and while she does win awards every single year, and I won't say that she doesn't, they have this point system.
Achievement points.
Yeah. And then, when Vega started there, he's beating her. I mean, he gets a shitload more negative points.
With Layla and Lissy when they were at the same school. Exactly the same. Layla got hardly any, Lissy got loads.
No. And it was almost like what they do is they award the ones who aren't as good all the time to give them more encouragement, which in one way makes sense.
Understandable.
But the ones who are always good consistently get overlooked and forgotten about.
Absolutely. Because they're quiet and they get on with their work and that's what it is.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what it is.
And all of these teachers are wonderful and they know her well, and it's taken time to build up that relationship because, the theme is always and was always ask for help, ask for help. Lyra's never going to be able to do that. But also, she can't understand things the way that someone else could. So she will stare at something, not have the courage or the ability to ask the question or ask for help, and mentally shut down until she eventually works it out. And then there's scraping and so-and-so's talking over there and the teacher's being loud because she's annoyed and the lights are flaring and she's drained and she's done and shut down. And the amount of times I had to go and pick her up from school because
I know
she's just shut down.
And in Lyra's situation, she is such a good girl. She is not a rule breaker. She will have, if you tell her she's got to do this work, she will have that work done 10 days before it's due. She will do what she has to do. And in her case, her being at home and working, actually you're going to get more out of her.
Without a doubt. She's
they must have seen a difference.
I believe so. I mean, they've just sat their mocks, and I don't know if Lissy has, but she's told me some of her results, and they're just so below.
I don't know if she's told me any.
She's got little bits and pieces, and they'll get the rest on their parents' evening. But when she told me her scores, and I know that she's been poorly, Lyra has been poorly.
Yeah.
But this PPE stuff, the pressure that it puts on her, and I just worry so much that she'll crumble at the other side.
But do you know what? This is another thing where I think the school system is so outdated, and this isn't to do with autism at all. This is in a whole.
Yeah.
You can have the cleverest person, and then you're telling me their whole entire school year is down to that one exam. That to me is absolutely blows my mind, because Layla was the same. Layla is so clever and naturally gifted. She's naturally got that. But she actually did really well in her GCSEs. But had she not, I don't understand how they can put these GCSE exams one day, and those one answers attest to the whole of their learning.
Yes.
Wild.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. Wild.
I mean, Lyra quite enjoys exams because it's silent.
Yes, yeah.
No one can talk, but what the difference is from normally she's finished her exams way before she was necessary. She's focused, everything's quiet, she's got something to do. this last few weeks, she really has been ill. She said that she's not had enough time to finish.
But that's what I'm saying. She could, on her normal GCSEs, she could be ill. Like, she could have the flu or something, be well enough to sit them, but maybe not well enough to really have that concentration that she needs to do it. And it's like, yes, if you're neurodivergent, there is things they can put in place for extra time and stuff. But even Lissy, I've asked for things and they're like, no, she really has to display this to get it. And it's like, Lissy has a reader. So it goes across the reading and it will read it out for her, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm right in saying that.
Yeah, because she's dyslexic, isn't she?
She is mildly. She can read perfectly fine, but they're just words to her. So she has to have a question almost like read to her.
Yeah.
For her to understand the question.
Yeah.
But the readers that they give them, they come out in numbers or something, she was saying the other day. It's not enough. Like, even these pens, they cost the school hundreds of pounds. But it's like, actually, she needs someone sitting with her.
Yeah.
And going, and when she's got to a question that she doesn't, or needs to be read in a different way, because sometimes it's the wording, the wording can be, if you say it and then say it in a different way, it's exactly the same question, but just reworded. It's like, I've got that. So, it's just, I find it really hard. But again, I feel like Lissy suffers with that kind of help because, she doesn't display as really struggling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean in that sense? Because she seems like she's okay.
And this is something, we had this conversation and we've touched on it before. Because Lara visibly displays her autism, you can see it. Lissy doesn't. Lissy's a fantastic masker. Lyra isn't a fantastic masker. It's visible that Lyra has problems. She can't hide it. It's on her face. It's there for the world to see.
Yeah.
Whereas Lissy mimics. She's a fantastic mimic. And
absolutely.
Lyra is, to a certain extent, but not the same capability of Lissy when it comes to mimicking people, which is why she has got herself into really fucking awful situations with horrible fuckers who are just nasty cunts, and that's all there is to it. And if you're listening to this, you're a nasty little cunt, know that. But there are people that are always going to, and it is ableism, because she can't vocally or physically show the world that she has autism because she is so good at masking. She isn't treated like she's autistic, and I'm not saying that she should be, but it's not remembered. She is not looked at immediately.
Absolutely.
She's done this because she has autism.
Absolutely.
She's just 100%. Looked at as anyone.
She has a one-to-one time with one of the teachers, and she's had it taken away. She just can't understand it because she's like, this person has still got theirs, and she's told that she can go to the room whenever she wants, but there's always someone there. And I don't think they really understand how important
it is to her.
That time is. It's once a week, and I don't know why. And I've even emailed about it, and it's still not been given back, and I just feel sad for her.
It does. It makes me feel so gutted, and all I can think of is they're so close to the end. It's almost over.
Yeah, and it's like, and like I've noticed as well, this last few weeks, she's really struggling in the mornings. Like, she's really struggling to get up. She's doing it, but it's a struggle, and I can see last night she had a meltdown over nothing in particular, and it's just that pile up, like you get at the end of term, because we've always said this as well.
End of term. Our kids, burnout.
That burnout is real. Like Leighton's the same. They're all the same, my kids, and your kids are the same. And it's like, but we can name it. This is, I feel like I can't name it. I just feel like she's just overwhelmed.
She is.
With everything.
I think what's different is they went straight in. It's a 6-week term, so it's a short term, but they went straight in, 3 weeks, exams, non-stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately, the burnout has already happened. Now this struggle through the last few weeks. And
also, I think as well, she's had interviews for the college, and she's had auditions for the other place, and it's a lot of change, and it's a lot of change coming. And although she's absolutely buzzing for that, I really feel like that's another thing that we've got to deal with. That's the next step. Change,
it terrifies me. I'm excited for her. I can't wait, but it terrifies me.
Same. And I think that's it. It's like for you with Lyra, your baby, you've got to let her go in a sense.
Terrified of it. We don't have enough time to really talk about everything.
Never enough time. Never enough. Sorry.
Never. We've done all right so far, to be fair. That's the first little moment like that. Probably wasn't. That's probably a lie. To sort of wrap it up, like, I just want to talk about what we've learned from it, how we deal with it, because it's very fucking hard. It is hard.
I agree. I think, like, I know we haven't gone back to how they was as children, which I think is probably something we should touch on as well, maybe in another episode. But I know, and I know this might sound good or bad, that I definitely deal with situations in a completely different way of understanding than I did before.
Completely.
And that's sad, but also it's knowledge. And what do we always say?
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Learning, being irritated by certain things that before it was just quirk, the word quirk. And I always use that. And I even remember asking her primary school when I thought she was autistic, did she show any tendencies? Every teacher I spoke to said, she's quirky. She's quirky.
Yeah.
She's got very dry humour. But what now I know is I have to take those quirks and curb how they make me feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Remember who she is.
I agree.
And give her what she needs.
And that's the thing that I think you've definitely learned. I know in your family situation, even to the children have learned.
Yes.
Haven't they?
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing, because the understanding that our kids have got, and how to treat others that are maybe different, because they are different.
Yeah.
Like, they are. Lissy is very, very different to Lyra, but she is very different. She isn't your neurotypical child. And I think it's that whole, when that child is sitting in a corner, like Lyra would, she would sit there and she would be quiet and she wouldn't speak unless you speak to her. So lucky that they have got the best group of friends,
really have.
haven't they? And they
so
all
important.
understand each other. And I just think that we've all learned something from this process. And like you say, how you deal with something, how you would react to a situation. Like, now I know with Lissy, if she gets really upset and overwhelmed, I cannot talk to her like you can reason with a child, a neurotypical child, and you can reason with them. I can't do that. I have to say to her, go and give yourself 10 minutes, and then when you've calmed down, come back to me. Or if we're out, I'll do the whole what you do as well. Find me 5 things. Find me. Look, what? Tell me what you can see that's the colour green. And then slowly break it down like that.
Yeah.
We've both learned that, haven't we? Because I think you told me about that. Regulating, isn't it?
That's it, self-regulation. And I do it with Luna, and I've had to do it with Luna from really little. Lyra, didn't really need to. She was too good. Like, she never had meltdowns as such. But Luna I do a lot of that. Find me 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, and all of that. And by the end of it, she's back to where she needed to be. She's calm enough to sort of like clear this all up and start again.
It's so, now thinking about it and thinking about me as a person, and actually it's taught me how to deal with things in my head differently, and to vocally say to the kids, for example, if I'm overwhelmed and they've come in from school and they're all want to tell me about their day, but I'm, especially with being ill and the tablets that I take sometimes, and I have to just say to them, I really need 5 minutes. Like, give me 5 minutes let me sort myself out, and then I go to them one by one, and they are understanding that about me, and it's the same, isn't it? Like,
but it's because you now know that about you.
Exactly.
You didn't before, whereas it would have been a blow up. Fuck off, go away, leave me alone.
Absolutely, it would have been. I same as what you've said in previous episodes. My house is a much calmer house. Much calmer house now that we all have that understanding more
of each other,
like, and even like Leighton, there's things that Leighton does, and I'm pretty certain Leighton is probably autistic, and he is as well, but we're managing it. Like, obviously with his school before, that wasn't, I know we haven't touched on it, and we will probably in another episode, I won't go into it now, but the difference between that school and the school he's at now is night and day.
100%.
And it's not even that there was anything wrong with that school. It just wasn't for him. And the way that they dealt with things and the way that they taught, it just absolutely wasn't. And I think like he's learning so much. And we just learn constantly, don't we?
You learn together. I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got, and it was through, Lyra had counselling at school, and she had quite a dark period.
Yeah.
And it was really hard, but we got through it, and that's all we can do. In these forms and everything, and when speaking to the counsellor that I spoke to, I'm a problem solver. If you feel this way, I'm going to try and give you 10 different solutions.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and raise your spirits, make you laugh.
Absolutely.
Go for comedy. That's what I go for. I'm generally pretty shitty in those situations sometimes where someone is upset and I don't know what to do. My go-to is comedy or solution, problem solving. But what she said was, sometimes you don't need to say a single thing. Don't promise them that it will get better. Don't do anything. Just be there and listen. And
absolutely.
Even agree. I know, it's shit. I agree with you. I'm sorry, I can't change it.
Your feelings are valid. How you're feeling is, and I remember you saying that to me, and it's so true. And I think sometimes, because I'm a bit like that, I think we feel lost because I'm a bit of a peacekeeper as well, and it's in the same situation as that, as being a problem solver. Is you're like flailing. If you can't control it and you can't deal with it, what else? What can I do? Sitting in it is uncomfortable. Yeah.
It's your child. You want to help them.
Absolutely. And that's our natural. Absolutely. Yeah. That's our motherly instincts. And I know certainly, especially that situation with Leighton, he's said to me a couple of times when I'm like, I don't know what to do, mate. And he's like, I don't need you to do anything. Yeah. It's like he doesn't need me to do anything. He needs me to hear him. Yeah. And he needs me to listen and understand that this is how he's feeling. There's nothing anyone can do about it, but I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, and I'll sit with you with that.
Yeah.
Like, it is...
That's all they need sometimes.
Absolutely.
They don't need problem solving. They don't need comedy. And, you know, Lyra, she doesn't enjoy touch. And like you said, the kids, they know, like, especially Luna, love her little heart. She knows that Lyra doesn't like to be hugged. Yeah. But if she feels like she wants one, she will ask for one. And if Lyra... like, you know, if she's happy to, she will. But I will sometimes ask Lyra if she wants to be hugged, but also I'm not a hugger. Yeah. So there is moments where I will ask her.
I am.
No. Yeah, exactly, you are. But if I'm upset, no, I don't always want to be hugged or touched. I need to just be in it for a minute. Yeah. She will ask me and I will ask her. And I know that she doesn't like, sometimes I've cuddled her and I'll tap her back. She doesn't like it. No. So now it's a cuddle. That's what it is.
Communication is absolutely key, isn't it, with those situations? I don't want her to
ask me for something and then not enjoy it because I'm doing something.
Absolutely. So, it's similar to you with touch, isn't it? And how you've described that before. Like, it's the same thing. And I think Layla's very much like that. I have to ask Layla, when I can't, she actually asked me as well. She's very similar to Lyra in that sense. Yeah. You leave me alone and this is my space, and I will welcome you in as and when I choose to welcome you in it. 100%.
It's learning the boundaries, it's learning what works for you, and sometimes they're hard to get around, and it is hard. It is really hard, and especially hard when they're low and you've got to watch it. But bottom line is, I wouldn't change her for the world.
Absolutely.
I wish she wouldn't like have these lows as much as she does. I wish I could take that away from her.
Yeah.
Would I, if I was given an option, you could do this again, she wouldn't have autism? No, absolutely not.
Yeah. I think for Lyra, it's school. I think it's like a prison.
Yeah.
And I do genuinely think that for all the kids.
Yeah.
Just like what we said earlier, the school structure is just institutionalized. Is that the right word? How intelligent do I think I am?
I know, go on, Brainiac. It's not a one size fits all. Each child is unique, neurotypical, neurodivergent. Each child is unique. They're going to have a thing that they thrive on. They're going to have a thing that they're natural at. They're going to enjoy. They'll have a better rapport with this teacher, so they'll get more out of them.
100%.
You're going to have teachers that don't understand them. Like a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, I was fucking livid over it. A couple of weeks ago, she had a substitute. And she came over and asked Lyra a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
She came over and asked her a question. And Lyra said she was processing what she had said. She'd asked her. And she said, within not even half a second, the teacher said to her, oh, so you're just going to ignore me then? And I said, what did you do? Because my blood was boiling.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you. You don't know my daughter. She would have struggled to even talk to you if she didn't have to process what you said. Because she's not used to adults coming up and speaking to her like that. I thought that one comment, if you'd have set her back because you said that to her, I would have had your head. Yeah. I spoke to her, like her SEN. I spoke to Miss Hills, big up Miss Hills. I spoke to her and she was like, completely understand. And again, there is an expectancy. I can't expect these teachers to go through her passport and learn everything about her. But if you are a substitute, maybe you fucking should.
I also think as well, though, there has to be, and I know there is a lot of SEN kids, and it's not their fault, it's no one's fault, but if you are a substitute, there should be a level of, these are the classes you're going to cover, these are the pupils that have got extra needs. Please be mindful of these pupils.
Yeah.
Make yourself aware of what pupils they are. I know it's a little bit extra, but your quality of teaching and the quality is going to be so much better. Just taking a few moments to know who's what. Yes, you might not have the time to go through the passport, but if Lyra comes up then and you have noted that Lyra is a SEN kid, you might change just without knowing about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's simple. Maybe it isn't. I'm not a teacher, but
the thing is, from our perspective, they're our world, aren't they?
Absolutely.
For a teacher, they've got a class full of 30 fucking teenage kids yapping, talking.
More for them. Let me tell you.
Like, well done, but also fuck that hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you've got, that one who is ADHD, that one who's got dyslexia and is struggling, that one who's going to talk to that one if they don't, that one who is notoriously naughty but is trying really hard, so you need to focus a bit more attention on that one. This one who's autistic who can't cope with the sound, that one's autistic but masks really well, so it appears like everything's fine. It's a clusterfuck. And also along with that, they've got like real life situations where that kid's Nan's just died yesterday, and 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's also not just the learning side of it they've got to think of, it's real life.
Yeah.
Which actually, I always tell my kids, if there's something and they've come home and they've been like, oh, that teacher was really horrible today, or that teacher did this today and it really, really didn't like the way they spoke to me or whatever. And I'm like, they are humans just like me and you. They might have had a really bad day or a bad night's sleep or something's happened in their personal life, and not everyone can leave it at the door. Let's have it right. That's what people say. You leave that at the door. We're human.
In what world?
I can get consumed by something. So will a teacher. No one is perfect.
No.
You can't all just leave your life at the door and it just doesn't. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So I feel like I always sometimes bring the kids back down to reality and be like, do you know what? They might have had a bad day.
Yeah.
We have bad days. You wake up in a mood sometimes, so they're allowed to as well. That teacher might be during her period, or do you know what I mean? Because that's real life.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it is tough. I do feel for them. They teach hundreds of children. They've got to learn who they are, all their quirks, and then your neurotypical lot. They're still in the middle of all of this as well. They're surrounded by all of this. It's not fair, really, on anybody, teachers, students, whatever. But it's fucking hard work. It is. But really, without making this podcast 4 hours long.
That's a little snippet.
A tiny little snippet.
Tiny little snippet. But do you know what? We want to hear from you guys. Like, what are your experiences? Mm-hmm. What are is there anything you disagree with or agree with? Relate to.
Let us know. Yeah, send us an email. It's partnersinchaospod@gmail.com. Message us on our socials. Do whatever you want. Drop a comment. We love it.
Yeah. Questions as well. If you've been in a situation, or if there's a situation you're like, how would you deal with this, Charlotte and Michaela? Mm-hmm. We will give you our honest opinions.
Yeah, we fucking love to do that. I can't wait for the first question we get to read out.
I know.
I suppose we better wrap this shit up then.
We better.
Oh, well, I've been Mickey.
I've been Shalula.
Yes.
We are partners in chaos.
That went totally left. Fuck it. We'll see you next week.